I take it Masako wasn't as pleased to hear the SSNN broadcasts as she thought she'd be? Of course she didn't. And now she's going to have some serious regrets about holding this upcoming board meeting. Which brings me back. Masako wants us to acquire Infinity Ltd, which is obviously not on my list of things. I need you to persuade the board members otherwise. You don't think I've weighed those Actually, perhaps I was a little overzealous. Being able to pick and choose the talent as I see fit does have plenty of benefits. And I could hold the garnered good faith over Viv for years. All right, I'm convinced. But if this turns into a mistake, I'm holding. The internal neuroamp essentially guarantees success. I figured as much. It's hard to resist. With Masako out of the way and the internal neuroamp finally. Or. Exactly. And all you.
Operatives really? Just the person I wanted to see. I want to get all the details locked down for this meeting. Good. I prefer. You've had the chance to encounter members of Infinity Ltd throughout your assignments here. Do you think they're worth redemption? Saving the jobs of thousands is altruistic, which is not a luxury corp. It's a financial burden. It would be. This is true. Infinity never had the financial resources to match ours. Getting what few capable employees they have at half the salary we typically pay here could have major payoffs in the long. Next question. What are your thoughts on SSNN's reports that Masako is allegedly connected to Lucas Drexler? Yes. Desperation. I find it difficult to believe that ours. I look forward to seeing what Alexis. Yes, Ulara would be a very capable CEO. Her loyalty to Ryujin is unmatched. I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I... It's the next big step for Ryujin Industries. There's no doubt. This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
It's good to see you again. And how's my favorite patient doing? Not seeing any... That's great. I'd say Project Dominion is ready for... One step closer to seeing market approval. Genevieve is going to be so excited. So, tell me what you think of the neuro... I'd be the next Ray DeCaris. My childhood... How amazing would that be? DeMarcus, eat your heart out. Don't tell him I... So the next question is, what will the fate... Exactly. Not that I want to gloat. Okay, so DeMarcus and I have really been looking forward to it. So fingers crossed this deal goes through. I know Masako will be pushing. I still can't get over everything that's happening. Maybe a change of leadership is needed in order to prevent this from happening again. And I have no doubt that Ulara would keep my department fully funded. Well, this has certainly been the most interesting conversation of my day. All we can do now is look forward to the meeting, right? See you in there.
If only there were more hours in the day. If you need something, make it quick. I'd like to make sure my arguments are solid before this meeting. You heard correct. I've every reason to believe that in... All right, I could use the entertainment. Tell me... When it comes to profit, I suppose all my art. Huh. Well, what do you know? I think you just convinced me. Talent like yours belongs in the court. Are you trying to add to my strength? First off, if I find out you used that device on me, I will tie you up in court on whatever. Second, that tech is one major human rights violation that no legal team wants to fight. In an ideal situation, yes. And I suppose creating that ideal situation, Now, Masako is lucky to have you at her disposal, you know? You may be the greatest asset aside from...
You aren't the first person to say that. There's definitely something to be said for Ularu. She's ruthless in ways that Masako isn't, and ruthlessness may be just what we need if we're to stay ahead of the competition, especially after this. This exchange has been surprisingly insightful, but now I really do.
This meeting should prove to be very interesting, especially after that bomb SSNN dropped in there last. I assume Masako briefed you on her preferred... That blasted tech. If it were up to me, I'd have shut down I knew it was a grave I suppose you're right. My first priority will be to get the board and all security members set up with... Plus, if we vote to acquire Infinity Ltd, the last thing I want to deal with are any more incidents this new neuro... I imagine we're looking at months of work. Infinity Ltd is obviously... I only hope that Masako and the others will be patient. You would side against... Perhaps if you present your argument, I don't believe you would. Intention. The public, She'll be forever as... I owe Masako a great debt for my success in life. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Don't tell me. Masako wants to make sure I'm still on her side after SSNN dropped this. Well, I was on Masako's until this news dropped. Now that she's been tied to Lucas, buying up Infinity Ltd only it's gonna be a hard sell to make this. Aren't you the flatterer? You're right, of course. I've certainly handled worse. Besides, I haven't had a good challenge like this in a while. All right, so let's hear it. Now that's a delicate subject. But our competition really is, if we want to survive the coming onslaught, you're right. Ularu would be. And what's your second point to consider? You're preaching to the choir. I have every intention of using it to our full... In fact, I already have an entire marketing campaign in the works, and ready to pitch once it's officially... Well, it seems your talents really do stretch beyond just being an operative. Good talk. Maybe I'll even consult you on future...
To start this meeting, let me just say that the SSNN allegations are completely false.
And you expect us to just believe that?
If they're false, how did this happen?
I'll be ordering a full investigation, but I have my suspicions, which I'll address once this meeting has concluded. Until then, I'm still CEO, and we'll be moving forward with this meeting to acquire Infinity Ltd.
Do you really think we want a potential criminal? One suspected of being the actual mole here, leading a crucial meeting like... In fact, I propose we remove Masako as CEO altogether, and nominate myself to take her place.
You can't be serious. And you, I thought we had a deal.
As much as it pains me to say it, I second the motion. My apologies, Masako, but we've failed here. Perhaps new leadership is what's needed moving forward.
Dalton, you can't seriously believe that.
Agreed. I initially believed we could pull through this, but I think a fresh perspective is necessary to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Any arguments against?
Yes, on the fact that I'm innocent and completely capable of doing my job.
Let's leave it up to the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
I had a feeling this would go my way.
Traitors. All of you.
Well, there you have it. And now, since you're no longer a part of this board, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
This isn't over. Says the biggest traitor of them all.
Now, Masako. Don't go taking out your shortcomings on our operative here.
Enough with your attitude, Ularu. I don't care what anyone says or what the evidence is. I know you're behind this. And I'll prove it, no matter how long it takes.
Good thing you're going to have plenty of time on your hands, then. Security. Why don't you escort Masako to her office? I'm sure law enforcement will be looking for her soon anyway. Now, let's get back to business. So, any arguments for the
This acquisition is sure to have its financial pitfalls, but as a wise person pointed out, it would have major payoffs in the future. Plus, with their current situation, Infinity Ltd will be more affordable than ever.
Legal ramifications are a certainty, but the benefits far outweigh the disadvantages.
Arguments against? None? All right. All in favor of acquiring Infinity Ltd?
Aye.
Excellent. Not bad for my first meeting. Does anyone have anything else to bring to the table before we break? I almost hate to ask now, but are there any other matters to... No? Good. Meeting adjourned.
So much work to do.
You're looking interesting today.
No more Masako as CEO. Of course, we're now acquiring Infinity Ltd, but I'll leave that mess for the others to handle. You've proven yourself to be quite the asset here at Ryujin. For me, I suppose it is. Enjoy it while it lasts. It takes guts for someone in your position to go up against the CEO. And Masako never saw it coming. That attitude must be why we work so well together. Now, as promised, I have your bonus. I'm sure you'll find it adequate for all you've done. I'm also promoting you to senior operative. You've certainly proven yourself capable enough. If that helps pad your ego, so be it. As a senior op, you now have a personal office, mission board access, and you're free to work on your own time. The mission board will hold any available assignments, although I may still notify you should I require your more specific talents. Oh, and no more docs and pay. I only care about the end result, not the methods. Any questions? In that case, I suggest you get familiar with the mission board before you leave today. I'll admit, you helped me pull off a pretty big win. So, if you want to take some time off, I get it. Just don't forget, you still have a job that I expect you to do.